Hello, this is Jenks Jenkins, and welcome to the You Are Weird Zoom session. I'm excited about this. It's an opportunity to talk about my new book, You Are Weird, as well as share information about self-publishing your own book. This is something a lot of people want to do, so I figured I'll share information about how I went through the self-publishing process, and hopefully it's helpful to some of you to reaching your goals of becoming a published author. So let's go ahead and get started. Why a weird book? I came up with this book because I know a lot of people deal with being different, not fitting in, and it's a challenge for some people. So they wonder, how do I deal with not fitting in, but still want to be true to myself? So I came up with the idea of you're weird. And as we go through this talk, I'll get more into what that means. But the book is to inspire people to be themselves, and you live your best life, your true life, when you're willing to be yourself, and not try to hide behind barriers of what somebody else thinks you should be or who you should act like. But we should want to be yourselves. I got a quote that says, "Always write what you feel." As an author, you want to write what's passionate to you, what means something to you. It's hard to write something about a topic you don't know about and you're not interested in. But it's when a topic that's true to your heart, it's easy, the words flow, and you can just keep writing about it. So I definitely am a person believes that you should try to be yourself. Always try to be yourself in anything you do in your career, as a person, as a parent, or whatever. When you're being yourself, you live your best life. So let's go into a little bit more about the book. Defining weird. In the book, I define weird as what every individual really desires. Once again, what every individual really desires. And what every person really desires is to be themselves. So when the book says you are weird, it's pretty much saying you want to be yourself. And we all are created to be unique and different. None of us are created to be the same. And it's amazing in society, we try to copy other people. People we work with, people we see online, people in business, people who are celebrities, whatever it may be. And we try to emulate what we see. But in that, you lose sight of your true identity. You lose sight of who you really are and being your true self. And you shine best when you're true self, when you're being your true self. I remember someone said that it's hard to be somebody else because that's already been taken. Yes, it's true. But no one can be you. No one on this earth can beat you being you. You're the best at it. So what we ultimately desire is to be ourselves without being ridiculed or criticized for being ourselves. And once you take that step forward of being yourself, being weird, or being you, you never know the type of impact that will have on other people. If you're in a group of people and you start being yourself, you start being your weird, awesome, amazing self, someone else in the group may say, wow, you're interested in that? Well, let me tell you what I'm interested in, which is outside the normal what the group usually talks about. And let's be honest, a group usually follows one person. And whatever direction they say that group is going today, or whatever's cool or great that day, we follow, we run toward that. But when you have someone that stands up in the group and say, well, no, I'm not really interested in, they kind of go off course from that. Someone else may follow you off course and start to decide to be themselves as well. But we avoid being ourselves because we don't want to be criticized as being the weird person. But trust me, you want to be the weird person. The weird person is the one that does something different from everybody else. They're the one that creates waves. They're the one that creates new opportunities, new possibilities. They're the one that come up with new designs. They're the one with new ideas. You want to be the weird person. You want to be the weird person that is living to their full potential with the gifts and talents God has given them. You want to be the weird person, trust me. So defining weird is pretty much being what every individual really desires, being yourself. And I put a quote down there, your internal identity will free you. When you're being yourself, you're free from all the caged thoughts of what everyone else says you should be. It shackles you, it holds you down, and it's like you're putting your gift and your true talent and your true self in a box, and it's just waiting to get out. So moving from there, three-dimensional thinking. Wow, this is something I'm so passionate about. The quote I put is, don't let one-dimensional people influence your three-dimensional mind. Wow. What that means is, usually people have a viewpoint or perspective of how things are supposed to work. Prime example. You go to school, go to college, graduate, find a spouse, have kids, let your kids grow up, you go, you die. Boom, that's how it's supposed to work. So when you come up with the idea, hey, when I get out of college, I'm not gonna just jump and get married. I want to travel. I want to do this. I want to start a business. I want to pursue this. I want to do all these other things. And people say, oh, well, why are you doing that? No, that's because they're thinking one dimensional and you have a three-dimensional perspective. I'll go even further. You get out of college, you do get married. What do most people in your family think you should do? Oh, you need to have kids. Halloween, you need to be working on the kids. And I mean, I'm saying Halloween, but after the honeymoon, you should be working on the kids. And it's like, no, I want to enjoy marriage. I think marriage is something you got to enjoy and get to know each other first on a different level, not as boyfriend, as girlfriend, or relationship, but to understand each other in marriage first before you invite kids into it. Or else you're going to have chaos and enough stuff just dealing with being married, and you invite kids into the chaos, what makes it more chaotic. So the person may want to experience marriage outside of kids first to embrace and enjoy the marriage. That's three-dimensional thinking. Or maybe you go to college and someone says, well, you should find a job, work there for about 50 years and then retire. And your perspective is, no, I'm gonna work there for about 4 years or 5 years or 6 years, and I'm gonna learn the ins and outs and the intricacies of this. And then I'm going to start my own business from what I've learned from that company. What's wrong with that? That's three-dimensional thinking. That's thinking outside the box. Or better yet, you have a job, you're in your field, you're doing well, and most people think that you just focus on that. But you also enjoy art. Suppose you're an attorney, or suppose you are a teacher. You're a teacher or attorney, but you also enjoy art. So what are you supposed to do? Just focus on being a lawyer, or focus on being a teacher and avoid the art side? No, do it all. Why don't you, during the day, work on being a teacher or a lawyer, and at night or in your off time, paint, draw. That's your expression. That's your artistic side. That's the other side of your brain working. Use that. You never know. That art could sell. It could wind up in being in a gallery, or you could sell it or give it away. Matter of fact, you could own your own gallery. Why not? Be the lawyer that is in the courtroom from Monday to Friday during the day, and at night you have your own gallery. You're having expos, and then Saturday you have people come in viewing your art. You're selling other people's art. Why not live this life to the fullest? But the key is, you can't let one-dimensional people influence your three-dimensional mind. It's so much you can do and accomplish when you let your mind go free. So you can tell I'm very passionate about, don't let one-dimensional people influence your three-dimensional mind. Let your thoughts go free, pursue dreams. Don't let someone think that you got to pursue one dream or one goal. You have been given different gifts and different talents. So why not expose and try all of them? When I talk to kids and they tell me, I want to play football, I want to play basketball, I want to do sports, I want to do hockey, I want to do hockey, whatever it may be. And I say, okay, well, why is that the only thing you got to do? Why, that's what I want to do. You can still go to school for business and go to school for playing basketball, or you can go for engineering and still play basketball, whatever the field may be, teaching basketball. You don't have to do just one thing. You go even further. You can go to school for business, but also have a minor in education, because you can be a business person during the day and teaching kids on the side. You don't have to do just one thing. Live it up. If you like hip hop and you want to teach, why not teach during the day and do hip hop at night? You don't have to limit yourself to one thing. Live this life to the fullest. Three-dimensional thinking. Okay, I'm gonna get off of that. So next up is your success story. We love to hear everyone else's success. Person that were hard in love. You always hear the story about the person that wanted to go to Hollywood, and they left their job, they got in the car, drove to Hollywood, and it didn't work out. They were struggling, lived out their car. It was just hard times, but then eventually they made it. They did a couple shows or gigs or whatever, and they made it, and they did well. That's their success story. You have a success story. In the book, I talk about writing down your success story, and it's not writing a book or anything. It's just writing down 4 or 5 items. I think I mentioned 5 in the book that have meaning to you, that create your success story. Not something that's gonna make me feel good about you, but that makes you feel good about you. Prime example, some people have graduated from high school and their family members didn't, so that makes you feel good. That's one of the keys in your success story. Or maybe it was college you graduated from. That may be one of the keys in your success story. It could be that you bought a house and you grew up in an apartment all your life. That's a success story. Or maybe you got an apartment at an early age, or whatever it may be. You're proud of having an apartment. Maybe you bought your first car, or you paid off your car, paid off your house. Whatever it is to you that creates a success story, it's got to be that thing that makes you smile every time you say it to yourself. For me, in my next book, I talk about writing poetry, and how I actually started writing poetry was a friend of mine, Low Phase, and so grateful for him. I was going through a heartbreak when I was young and 16, and he encouraged me to write a poem. And I didn't want no poem. I wanted some consultation. I wanted to help me out through myself. But he told me to write a poem. And I fought it, but I eventually wrote it. And I've been writing ever since. That's a part of my success story. Just that instinct, that instant moment, that's a part of my success story. So you figure out the things that mean something to you. Now, I will say this, don't make it cliche when you do the success story. Prime example. I know I'm about to take some Christians off, but I'm gonna say it because it's gotta be said. Someone could say, well, you're going through your success story and you say, well, getting saved, or the day I got saved should be on my success story list because that's supposed to be a great day to me. Well, let's be honest. To you, it was, you gave your life to Christ, you got saved, and that was that, and you moved on with life. That doesn't mean it has to be on your list of success story of things that make you smile every time you think of it, because that might have not been the moment for you. It could have been something that happened a year later, 2 years later, where you were in a tight space and all of a sudden God turned it around. It might have been an opportunity came up in a job. It could have been you getting something that you didn't even see coming. That's the success story. It's not the day I got saved. Don't do the cliche things that people think should be great. Prime example, maybe the day you bought your house. To you, buying a house was like anything else. It's like buying clothes, buying a car. That doesn't mean it should be on your list of success story if it's not big to you. It might have been selling your house that was a big thing because you just couldn't believe it, that you actually sold your house and you sold it for more than you bought it for. So the point is, the things that you put on your list of a success story have to be exciting to you. And then I ask you to go through the list out loud to yourself. 1 is this, 2 is this, and see if you smile on every item. And when you do that, it should build something up in you. And when you repeat your success story to yourself every day, constantly, even when you're in the car just driving or whatever, you repeat that success story, you start to view life different. And you start to look for other things to develop your success story even more. Your success story is going to grow as you grow. As you get older, as you do things in life, your success story is going to grow. But like I said, it's not for everybody to think that list or that success story is awesome. It's something that you say to yourself and you're in awe of it. Wow. And the quote is, your success story will help you win your race. And the key is your race. Don't worry about running against someone else. I say this all the time when it makes me smile. Run your own race and beat your own time. Beat your own time. Don't worry about the guy that's running beside you on the left or the right. Run your race. You're here to beat your time. This is the time I got when I was 25. Let's beat it. This is the time I got when I was 30. Let's beat it. What's the time I got when I was 35? Let's beat it. This is the time when I got to 40. Let's beat it. This is the time I got when I was 50. And you keep going. It doesn't stop. 80, you're trying to beat your 75 time. Your time may be different. It doesn't mean you're doing it slower, but you might be becoming wiser in a lot of choices you made. Think about life. It's amazing how you'll make a choice at 25 and you'll look back at it at 35 or 40. You say, that was the dumbest thing I ever done. Because you know more now. And we try to instill that in us kids, but that's a whole other thing. So you have to create your success story and repeat that to yourself.